Well, what Sporting lose, Manchester United gain, they hope. And when we were just hearing from Ruben Amorim there, Paul, that was after his Sporting side thrashed City 4-1 on Tuesday night in the Champions League. And although he was trying to temper the excitement and say, you know, like, this doesn't mean anything, I mean, it couldn't have been a better way to start his Man United career, could it?
Oh, it was a nightmare for all of us, trust me. Yeah, look, it was brilliant one. I actually missed the first half. I believe City were quite good first half, and Sporting were a little bit lucky, but I got the best half. There's no doubt about that. They looked really good. They looked threatening. They played with a real energy. There was a desire, a hunger that probably hasn't been seen here. So he's going to have to change the mentality as soon as he comes into this place. He looks like he's got the character, a good smile. He looks, and I actually saw an interview where he just wants to come and have fun. That is not something that has been associated with this club for quite some time now. And he's coming in a situation, obviously, where they're 13, 14 in the league, 20-odd in the Europa League. So he's coming at a really bad time. I think some of the bigger managers he expected to do well, the Van Gaals and Mourinho's, didn't quite work for him. But their level was still higher. They were still going for Champions League places, not quite the league. And as I said before, I think it's going to be quite easy for him to get this team up to, 5 or 6 players up to that. Remember, they finished 8th last year, so it was a bad year. He hasn't got that much work to do to beat that, but I think he's more than capable of doing that. The big concern for me is how can he get this team to challenge the Champions League places where it should be, the very, very least, and then, in I don't know how much time, he's going to have to make that next step again to get it challenging for the league title, and that could take, I think he signed a 2.5-year contract. Yeah. You'd think in 3.5, 4 years to maybe even get close to that. And
we heard one of the journalists saying in that piece there, if he's given the time. I guess that's the big question, Karen. Will he be given it? Will he be afforded that?
Well, you hope so. I mean, Paul's just told us 2.5-year contract. We know that it's going to take a long time where we think Manchester United are going to get to that levels of where everyone wants them to be. But I guess if he's hitting markers and hitting targets and we see progression, then he'll be given the time. But it is a very difficult job for him.
Andre Onana said yesterday that this group of players are more than capable of adapting to a brand new style of football, because I think there's been a lot of questions asked as to whether Ruben Amorim has the players here at Manchester United that can play in the style that he wants to play in. It's a different style tactically and formation-wise, Paul. What do you think?
I hope he's right. He's going to have to change mentality of some players. I think I'd say 3 or 4 of the players at least, especially forward players, don't want to do the ugly side of the game. No, he's going to have to make them do that. They're going to have to look into his eyes and say, I believe every word this coach tells me. And they're going to have to do that. Now, we talk about systems. I'm pretty sure they have. You talk about the back 3. We've got 6 central halves they can choose from. That it's never something that's really happened here, but that's what he does. He's got the 2 central midfielders in Casemiro and Ugart. It's the wing-backs that could be a problem for me. Does he want more attacking wingers who will run back? If he wants that, I'm not sure Rashford and Garnacho are right for that. Does he want 2 wing-backs in Darlow and Mazraoui, for instance, who might be a little bit better defensively but not as good going forward? He's then got his 2 number 10s, which is something you don't see here. And I think he's got the players for that. I think Fernandes is definitely one of them. I actually think Mainu could be one of them as well. I think he'd be a better player.
Play him higher up.
Playing higher up as one of them 10s with a bit of security in behind. I think it'll suit him more. But there's loads of questions to ask. Højlund, we said, as a centre forward, he's looked different the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's looked stronger, he's looked quicker. I think if they can create chances for him, he will score goals.
Well, the good thing is